So what advice would you give to entrepreneurs who starting their own business? I mean, we have COVID-19, so many people going online and starting their own online business, and maybe don't have experience with content or with SEO at all. What advice would you give? So how should they start? Should they create video material, or should they start their podcast, or all of them? What advice would you give?
That's a really big question, and I think that question is just going to get worse and worse in the next 6 and 12 months, as well as the space becomes a lot more crowded. You had Rich Mulholland on your podcast, didn't you? That's how we were introduced. Yes. So I think he hits the nail on the head with, and I'm actually doing his course at the moment, which is an awesome course, just as a promo for Rich. But he talks about your area of influence. Yeah. And really nailing that, because everybody, far too often, a lot of people try to be too many things to too many people and to too broad. Whereas I think the only way you can get cut through today is to go narrower and deeper on specific slithers of a topic. So it's really getting clarity around your area of expertise. What are you the best in? And it could be a certain topic that you put a special bent on, or whatever it may be. And that's what you really need to own, that slither, right? So go deeper and deeper, not wider and wider. And then that sort of comes around to, he refers to it as slaying your dragon, or it's, what are you going to go to war over? So what do you really truly believe that's wrong with this world? So this podcast, I think SEO is wrong with this world, right? So it's kind of my going to war is over, let's get rid of SEO because I think it's in everybody's best interests. Yeah. So how do you choose an area of expertise, authority that you have, that's yours, that you're the best at, and then underlying that, what's something that's a little controversial that you strongly believe to be going against the grain of common sense wisdom. And that's that's what you go to town on, because that's going to get you a lot more traction than trying to please 50,000 different people on different topics, and let's write a blog article and let's get this out and that out. I mean, I was lucky enough to see Gary Vaynerchuk. Is that it? I can't even pronounce his name. Yeah. But his latest tidbit with a seminar that I saw him at was, you now need to be producing 15 bits of content a day on the social channels to get any cut through. And I'm going, 15 bits of content a day on a social channel? And I go, to most people, that's not real, right? So this is that quality over quantity. So once you choose a really tight niche that you are the best in the world at, and there'll be one, you just got to spend some time finding it, and then go to war with something in that niche.